Hey babes, it's Tough Lazy Planner Addict and welcome to the Plan With Me for the week of October 14th. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this style of Plan With Me. It occurred to me that my Plan With Me's are always super long, so I decided to try doing a voiceover and speeding it up instead and see if that is a little bit easier. By the way, I do have Opal right here who kind of wants attention while I'm filming, so hopefully, or not filming, voiceovering, so hopefully that will be okay. As you can see, I am starting out by putting down these bottom boxes at the quote bottom of the page, you know, how these things go. And this was my solution instead of bottom washi for the new bottom box things that we have in the Erin Condren LifePlanners. When the new ones came out, I had to think about this a little bit. I really didn't like the idea of putting washi down there like a lot of people have been doing and losing that functional space that was specifically put into the planner. The other thing that I really didn't like is losing that rounded edge motif, and you'll see that I actually thought a lot about that and made sure to put that in on the top as well. So you're keeping that motif even with all the stickers. So that's a little like behind the scenes sneak peek into kind of how I was thinking about putting these together. Next, we have our little what is it, a hexagon, octagon? I am really bad with shapes. By the way, you will see me using this little spatula thing a lot during this Plan With Me. I got this with my Silhouette Portrait, which is the machine that I use to cut my stickers. I almost never use it for that, but I use it all the time for pulling stickers up, either when I position them incorrectly or when I put a sticker down to test it and then want to pull it up. And I actually do that a fair amount when I'm testing stickers. Either I don't like the sticker or I want to preserve the page for one reason or another. So here you can see I'm going across the top and putting down my headers and my date covers. So a couple of things that I want to point out here. First off, the easiest way to get the date cover, I guess, centered or aligned correctly when you have these rounded tops of the actual columns in the planner is to put the header down first, because you can actually line the header up with the box and the column. It's a lot easier to put down, and then you can just line your date cover up with that on top. And then you can also see, I know you saw it a minute ago and you'll see it again, that I did make sure that the top of my date covers or my standard date covers were rounded. Again, I wanted to make sure that we kept that rounded motif. I really, really love that change that was made to the Erin Condren planners this year, and I didn't want to get rid of it as I was designing my stickers. And by the way, you know, if you haven't figured out so far, I want to try to give you some insight into what I was thinking when I was designing these stickers or different things when I was making them, as well as kind of talk about what I'm doing and other things that are going on. So I hope you do enjoy this. So now what are we doing? I forgot what we're doing now. Well, I guess we'll see in just a sec. Oh, we are doing full boxes. This is always really kind of, I don't know, a little puzzle for me. And so this week I decided to do alternating full boxes on the top and the bottom, and I'm going to do my little checklist going throughout the middle of the spread. I've done this a couple times and I actually really do like the way it looks. So here you're gonna see for a little while me just messing with all of the positioning. Now I find it kind of funny, I don't know. So all of the box sizes that we're used to are based on the old dimensions of the boxes in the Erin Condren planners. In case you aren't aware, and I guess if you don't make stickers, you probably wouldn't be aware, the size of a quote unquote standard Erin Condren full box sticker is 1.5 inches wide and 1.9 inches tall. Some people will say 2 inches tall. I think that might include the header, but I have definitely measured it multiple times myself, as well as seen other people saying it's 1.9 inches tall. So because the colorful version of the planner, which is the one I'm using, and the neutral version of the planner do have slightly different layouts and have for a couple of years, it's really hard to have a standardized way of changing the sizes. So of course, then you get into the situation of, okay, so where do I put my headers? How do I line everything up? And you pretty much have to just line everything up, either starting from the top going to the bottom or the bottom going to the top if you don't want any white space. And with a spread like this, it's kind of interesting because one column is top to bottom with my stickers. I'm going to have white space at the bottom. And then the other column is bottom to top with white space at the top. So it's definitely not a no white space spread. But if anything, I have to contend with that even more. And to make it even a little bit more complicated, I have to make sure everything lines up correctly in the middle for the checklists. So here you have me going back and forth. First off, I had a really hard time aligning some of these straight. And if this is just my everyday planner, I usually will just say, good enough, and go on. But with these Plan With Me's, I did want to take pictures afterwards so that I could show people how I use the stickers and things like that. So that is a little, something that I have to keep in mind. I have to look maybe a little bit nicer than I would on the daily. So I decided to go back in here, and I'm actually switching out a lot of the stickers. I decided to switch all the to-dos out with the glitter headers because I decided not to use any of the other header stickers with print on them. It just felt a little bit more cohesive to use glitter headers all over. So you'll see me going back in with my spatula and pulling stuff up. I know there are a lot of different ways to pull up stickers. I used to just use my nail or something like that. I've heard of a product called Undo. I personally have never tried Undo, though I've heard really good things about it. I find this little scraper to be perfect, and I almost never have an issue where I destroy a sticker or anything like that. And the other thing is, I'm pretty sure with Undo you have to wait a little while before you put it back down. With this, if you pull a sticker up, you don't have to wait to put it back down, which is really nice. So once I got that all straight, you can see me kind of continuing going around with the little headers. And you'll see as I'm putting things down, because I do have that top to bottom and bottom to top layout to contend with, not only am I trying to make sure everything is as straight as possible, but I'm also making some other little adjustments. And in just a minute, you'll see that I'm going to pull that pumpkin full box up. By the way, I'm sorry that the shot isn't quite as clear as it could be. And I'm actually going to end up putting the glitter header over the pumpkin sticker because, and also the one on the side, because I want, again, the width of the stickers to be a little bit more uniform. And this is one of those situations where had I known exactly what I was going to do ahead of time, I probably would have positioned things a little bit differently. For instance, I probably wouldn't have put the bottom boxes down first because there are a couple of these full boxes stickers that are going on the bottom where it makes more sense to chop off a tiny bit of the bottom with the header than the top. But that is just how these sorts of things go. I like to have a plan for things, but if I do too much planning ahead of time, both with my planner and in real life, I find that I just never get things done because I will get stuck in the details and I will just go into the circle of trying to get everything perfect and try to sort everything out. And as I said, nothing ever gets done. And I can think about this for a long time. For instance, when I did, I think it was even my first Plan With Me, my first and my second one, I was planning 2 or 3 years ago. It must have been 3 years ago, a holiday spread. This is before a lot of these kits were really prevalent and you kind of had to, they had kits with a lot of stuff, but you couldn't get everything you needed for a spread. So I had to kind of piece together different elements for my perfect spread. And I almost had an emotional breakdown. Minor because it's my planner, but I had a really hard time trying to figure out where everything was going to go. And I think it took me legit 3 hours. And I forget if it was Snapchat or Instagram stories, but I could not decide what I wanted to do with these things. I was so indecisive and I just could not figure out what I wanted to do. And I look back at that right now, having kind of figured out a little bit more of my working style in that how I work, that's redundant. And I just kind of think you have learned a lot about yourself since then, because now I know that unless it's the kind of thing where everything does have to be done perfectly from the get-go, and there are definitely some projects like that, I like to go into these sorts of things having a basic idea of what I want to do, what I want to see at the end, but then also being kind of flexible as I go along. See what I like, see what I don't like, make changes as I go. And so, for different spreads like this, as you can see, I end up pulling a lot up as I'm working because I try something, I don't like it, I try something else and different things like that. That's the other reason why I decided not to write a script for doing this voiceover, because I feel like just kind of talking about what comes to my head is a little bit more, maybe not authentic, but you get a better idea of what is actually going on, because it's not well thought out. It's just kind of stream of consciousness. And that's kind of what I like about these Plan With Me's, is you get to see not only how people plan out the week so that things are nice, but you also get to see a little bit deeper into how people's thought patterns work and how people organize. And that is something that I definitely want to make sure that I'm bringing into my videos, whether I decide to change my style or not. And by the way, if this is the first Plan With Me that you're watching, in the past, I've always just talked while I'm doing my Plan With Me. I ramble for 30 minutes. I usually come up with something rather fun to talk about, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, it is 30 minutes long and it's really, really rambly. And honestly, this day, I did not feel like narrating a video. I actually planned this on Tuesday. What was it, the 15th, the Tuesday? And I really just did not want to film this day, but I'd been planning on doing this Plan With Me for days. I procrastinated on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and finally Tuesday, I'm like, I have to do this. So I filmed this whole video, and then while I had my filming set up, I actually filmed another video, which hopefully I will actually get around to editing and posting soon. There's a lot of kind of thought process that goes into starting to do a Plan With Me, and then there's the whole planning part of things, which is why I call myself the lazy planner addict. So anyway, to catch up with what we're seeing on screen, I just did my sidebar, and then I'm taking the X-Acto knife and I am trimming off the bottom of that sticker. I put some Pokemon Sword and Shield countdown stickers down the bottom, and with that, we are done with the planner. Here is a look at the spread, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun filming it, and I would love to hear what you think about it in the comments down below. Bye!